Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your hats as Burl Riley from the New Stanton United Methodist Church will offer a prayer of praise and thanks to our Lord for this wonderful race evening.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Good evening, racing fans. Holy Heavenly Father, we thank you for such a beautiful day, and we hope and pray that you'll give us a beautiful evening. We wish that you would put your hand on each and every driver and their helpers and protect them tonight in their racing program. It is a very entertaining sport, and we praise you, Lord, for watching over them. We'd like to thank everybody in the organization for inviting the United Methodist Church here to say the prayer. And Lord, we wish that you would put your hands on each and every individual here at the racetrack tonight and give them a safe journey home. Thank you. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Melissa Grimm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And the female rookie in car 03, Terry Schwartz from McKeesport. Green flag is out, 8 laps for the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks. On the back straight, the early race leader is veteran Dustin Blank in car 94. Then the 83 of Matt Sever, the rookie, feeling the pressure from recent first-time winner Aaron Minjock in 34. Sever, the rookie, in second position. Aaron Minjock in third, 57 Kostelnik. Last week's winner is fourth. All 4 of these lead pack drivers have been to victory lane. The second place driver not yet in this division as a young rookie. '94 Dustin Blank, the race leader. He has led more feature laps than probably any other driver in this division in 2010. Yet amazingly, in spite of leading so many laps in feature competition, the 94 of Dustin Blank has yet to visit victory lane. Matt Sever, the rookie in car 83, is cutting down the lead of the veteran as the crossed flags indicate halfway home. 4 laps down and 4 laps to go as Chief Starter Mike Renninger signals the cross. Oh, we got a problem coming out of 2. Aaron Minjock got that car way sideways. He made a fantastic save, but he's not able to hold on to third position as a result of that miscue. Andrew Kostelnik moves up a spot. Now turning our attention to this lead battle with Dustin Blank in 94, leading the 83 of Matt Sever. Can young Matt Sever, the teenager, get a first checkered flag tonight as he moves up to the street stock division here in 2010? He is challenging the veteran to the inside. They were nearly side by side in turn 1 with only 2 laps to go. Car 83, the defending champion of the 4-cylinder Super Compacts, leaping up the NASCAR ladder into the Napa Street Stocks and challenging a veteran winner in this division, Dustin Blank. By a fender at the wave of the white flag, Blank holds on to the lead last time around the Motordrome pavement. Will the teenager in car 83 get a first checkered flag? He has 2 more corners to make a pass of the veteran. Sever on the inside, Blank on the outside. They are wheel to wheel in turn 4. Coming to the stripe for the first heat race win. Dustin Blank hangs on by a bumper over Matt Sever, Andrew Kostelnik, and Aaron Minjock. Green flag is back out, a second 8-lap preliminary heat for the Napa Street Stocks. Side by side, 2 winning veterans. Dink Colarusso gets a little nudge from Holder there as the defending track champion takes the lead. He has struggled with this brand new ride, number 0. Jason Holder, second on the racetrack, 5th in the championship point standings as last year's champion Colarusso takes the lead. The current points leader, Andrew Kostelnik, was out in that previous heat race, and we're 3 wide on the back straight. Tom Knight Sr. threads the needle between young Teddy Gabala and Jason Holder in 74. Knight, the man on the move now, up to second. Dink Colarusso in car 0 opening up a big lead. Former Jennerstown champion and last year's street stock champion. He was driving an AK chassis number 0 last year out of the Kostelnik Racing stable. And now the defending champ has this Pontiac Grand Prix 0 dialed in really for the first time all season, as he has not been a threat to win a feature yet after being the dominant winner in 2009. Tom Knight Sr. in car 76 into the second spot all by himself, followed by Jason Holder and Teddy Gabala. Crossed flags indicate halfway, 4 laps down, 4 to go. Colarusso in the 0 of Greensburg, Tom Knight of Plum in second. Now the battle for third, side by side. Gabala moves to the inside of Holder. They are side by side in turn 1 with 3 laps remaining. Hard to believe that Jason Holder in car 74, who's won so many times here in the past at Motordrome, was winless in 2009 and has struggled with loose handling race cars throughout 2010 in this early part of the season. They're still side by side with 2 to go now. Gabala 4th in the championship point standings, Holder 5th in the standings, so with points on the line in these heat races, every position means something toward the track title. White flag in the air now for Dink Colarusso in car 0. The defending champion, who has had a dismal 2010, as Colarusso has struggled to find the handle with this new ride. After winning double-digit feature events in 2009, coming out of turn 4, the first checkered flag he will see all season so far in 2010. Dink Colarusso takes the checkered flag over Tom Knight Sr., Teddy Gabala, and Jason Holder. Scott in car 97 from Pittsburgh, George Nicola, as the green flag waves, 8 laps for the Wyotech Modifieds. Young Billy Rebar unable to thwart the challenge of veteran Bobby Shipp, and we're 3 wide on the back straight. Never a good idea in the open wheel Modifieds, still 3 wide in turn 3. Not a good scene, but we're gonna escape without any issues from a 3 wide turns 3 and 4, unbelievable. Bobby Shipp in car 04, the current points leader with 1 feature victory on the season, opening up a lead now over his arch rival from last season, Adam Kostelnik, the 6-time track champion in car 00. He is winless so far in this new ride in 2010. Billy Rebar of Smithton settles into the 3rd position with George Nicola in 97. In 4th spot, Nicola was winless in 2009, shockingly. He dives to the inside of Rebar in a quest for 3rd position. Now Gary Scott in 16 dives beneath Billy Rebar. How tough is this modified field? The driver who just got himself out of last place after 3 laps in this heat was the feature winner 2 weeks ago, Gary Scott. Halfway, crossed flag signal, 4 laps down and 4 to go. Bobby Shipp in car 04, a new father who had his son in victory lane 2 weeks ago. Shipp, a graduate of the Charger division in car 04. Opening up his lead over Adam Kostelnik in 00. Adam Kostelnik currently 6th in the point standings with the 00 machine. He was the leading feature winner in each of the last 5 seasons here at Motordrome, now with a new ride, the HB Motorsports 00, as the signal of 2 laps to go is given to Bobby Shipp in the 04. White flag signals final lap around to the modified competitors. A big lead opened up by Bobby Shipp in this one. George Nicola makes a pass for 3rd around Gary Scott the previous lap. And complimenting his feature victory, headed to the checkered flag for a 2nd heat race win of the season, Bobby Shipp gets the victory in the 04 over Adam Kostelnik, George Nicola, Gary Scott, and Billy Rebar. Rich Nicola from Pittsburgh, who showed great promise toward a feature win 2 weeks ago. Green flag is out. 8 more laps for the Wyotech Modifieds. It's Lonnie Hoffman, the early race leader in car 96, the hometown hero, stretching out his lead after a terrible crash entering turn 3 last week with the driver who sits in 2nd now, Brian Shipp. Car number 3, Chris Brink, glides into the 3rd position. The Glenn Campbell Gambler, last Friday night's winner in the Wyotech Modifieds. Troy Knight, the rookie, falling back to 4th. Then the veteran Rich Nicola, and another rookie in car 60, Pat Hanley from Monroeville. Now Brian Shipp in car 40 is on the move and closing in on leader Lonnie Hoffman. These 2 drivers collected one another while racing for the lead in last week's feature. Now they're 1 and 2 in this heat race. Chris Brink into the 3rd position. Last week's modified feature was plagued by an unbelievable amount of caution flag incidents, one of which eliminated 1st and 2nd place. They were Lonnie Hoffman and Brian Shipp at that time, and now they are 1 and 2 in this heat race at the halfway point. Chris Brink thought about a high side pass for 2nd that time out of turn 2, could not muster enough steam in car 3. Equally spaced top 3, Lonnie Hoffman in 96, Brian Shipp in 40, Chris Brink in 3. All 3 of these drivers have been victorious in recent seasons. There are 2 laps to go. Hoffman in the 96 car, 3rd in the championship point standings, 1st on the racetrack. Chris Brink, 3rd on the track, 2nd in the points chase. Final time around, Hoffman so far this season, to complement his feature victory on opening night, has 3 heat wins, looking to make it 4, with a car length and a half advantage over Brian Shipp coming into the final corners. And out of turn 4, once again, the hometown hero picks up the checkered flag. Lonnie Hoffman gets the win over Brian Shipp, Chris Brink, Rich Nicola, and Pat Hanley. Audi. The 7 is rookie Matt Gardner, 83 Joe Moose, and the green flag waves. The NASCAR Subway Super Late Models at full speed for a 10-lap preliminary heat race. Early race leader is Bailey Jr., the former National Bandoleros champion. Gets the jump on veteran Neil Brown at the wave of the green flag. number 1. Brown, the leading feature winner of 2008, the leading feature winner of 2009, and the only repeat winner in the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models in 2010, holding the lead over defending track champion Mark Catone. Catone in his car number 31, also a feature winner in 2010, and the two youngest drivers in the field battle for third. Nathan Russell of Curwensville in car 26 and Chris Bailey Jr. in 17 go side by side. Russell in car 26, a former high school football star who graduated last year from Curwensville High School in his third season of NASCAR late model action. Inside of Chris Bailey Jr., we got a challenge for the lead headed into turn 1. Mark Catone using the outside lane to reel in race leader Neil Brown, and he's going for it on the top side. Mark Catone, the defending champion from McKeesport, taking the lead in turn 4 from Neil Brown of Acme. Crossed flags, 5 laps down, 5 to go. Last week, these two drivers had a clean, exciting battle to the finish in the feature, and it was Brown who got the best of Catone. Now Catone with an outside pass leading this heat race. In third spot, Nathan Russell has completed a pass of Chris Bailey Jr., this being Russell's second start of 2010. Behind Bailey in fourth, it's Barry Audi in fifth, who closes in very quickly as all three drivers have to get on the binders. Contact was made and a great save by Bailey. Looks like Russell may have had some kind of a problem. He has slowed dramatically. Now Bailey reclaims the third spot. Audi is into fourth. Here comes Dan Lewis, the Monongahela veteran in car 8, looking to the inside of young Russell. Tough break for the Lesser Lumber Russell Stone and Paving Chevrolet number 26 as his Bellevue Chassis Center machine having a problem and falling back to Dan Lewis in car 8 after being passed by Barry Audi. Audi, a two-track champion, the veteran in fourth with the Wheeler brothers, Stoystown Auto Wrecking Chevrolet, as the white flag signals final lap to Mark Catone. The Auto Express, Mama Pepino's Pizza, Baker Race Cars number 31 of Catone. Mark Catone, a 3-time Motordrome track champion, and as points leader now a 3-time heat race winner as Catone takes the checkered flag over Neil Brown, Chris Bailey Jr., Barry Audi, and Nathan Russell. Track champion Rick Miller from Dunbar, 37 Paul Urso from Glenshaw. Green flag is out. 10-lap preliminary heat race number 2 for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. Tommy Beck, the early race leader, Todd Price into second. Side by side for third, Mark Poole and Bobby Henry. Poole, the winner 2 weeks ago. Henry, the former track champion, they touch in turn 4. Contact was made entering the front straight by Mark Poole and Bobby Henry. Great saves made by all. Now Henry's teammate, Gary Wiltrout in car 95, moving to the outside of Poole. Poole, after a feature win 2 weeks ago, failed to finish last Friday night. You see the for sale sign on the Mark Poole 96 car, multiple feature winner, and he had a serious issue with that machine last week. Meanwhile, Bobby Henry takes over the second position, gliding around the 51 of Todd Price. Tommy Beck checking out with the lead, but heated action in the middle of the pack. Wiltrout in the 95, still trying to get around the 96, and Steve Black is right there. Look at the Greensburg veteran in car number 1, having a career best season in 2010. Black looks to the inside of the former track champion and takes away the 5th spot. Todd Price in 51, Mark Poole in 96, Steve Black in the 1, and middle of the pack action. In front of them, it's the 11 of Bobby Henry. Henry's been lightning fast this season, but has not won a feature. As we see Poole now diving to the inside of the 51 of Price once again. Both of these drivers have been to victory lane in 2010. Price for a career first. Poole continuing a streak of 3 straight seasons of visiting victory lane at Motordrome. And Mark Poole will take over the 3rd position here on lap 6 of 10. Price drifts way up out of the groove. Steve Black goes by. Gary Wiltrout goes by. Rick Miller, the three-time champion, goes by. Beginning to work lap number 7 now. Race leader is still Tommy Beck. Beck, who began his career at Motordrome as a teenager in the modifieds, has since gone on to win crown jewel events in the Benz Motorsports Stans Transmissions Monarch Oil Chevrolet number 60. Signal of 2 laps to go given to this field. A distant second in car number 11. The Paul Agrudo Motorsports entry of former track champion Bobby Henry. Henry driving the Stone and Company. Megan Ford, Scottdale Lumber, Daly Courier Ford number 11. As the white flag signals final time around for Tommy Beck. Beck, who races a dirt track late model on the UFO Tour and at the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway out of his family's racing stable. Looking for yet another checkered flag for Benz Racing. And coming out of turn number 4. The heat race victory goes to Tommy Beck, his first of the season over Bobby Henry, Mark Poole, Steve Black, and Gary Wiltrout. Clifford the third. 8, Kristen Ettling, the 2-time winner. 51, Mary Catherine Shimko as the green flag waves. 2 female pilots starting at the back of this field. The 51 of Shimko, a double-duty driver in the Super Compacts as well. The 8 of Kristen Ettling, 2-time feature winner, and was the points leader until a vicious crash in last week's heat racing car 8. But up front, the 04 of veteran Jimmy Christoffel. And the sophomore driver Zane Farrell in car 14. They are door-to-door glued together all the way around this half-mile oval. Our Charger Division race cars are 8-cylinder, rear-wheel drive street passenger cars with automatic transmissions competing on street tires, modified only for driver safety. And Christoffel in the 04 has multiple feature wins here, nonetheless is on a long winless drought. And he's got the 14 of Zane Farrell tucked right up under his back bumper on lap 2 of 6. Into third spot, it's the 61 of Ron Eifert the third, but bumper-to-bumper contact made between the 04 of Christoffel from Jefferson Hills and the Roughdale driver in car 14, who's won the last 2 consecutive Charger features. Zane Farrell in 14 looks to the outside now. Crossed flags indicate halfway. 3 down, 3 to go. Let's see if the leaders continue to trade paint to the checkered flag. Christoffel, who races out of the Bobby and Brian Ship Racing stable. Zane Farrell, a close friend of Lonnie Hoffman. So both of these teams with modified division connections, and they're still duking it out for the lead. Look at the tire marks they're exchanging on the front straight. Young Zane Farrell, we call him the prom king, and they are making heavy contact down the back straight. New rivalry develops right before your eyes. They're swapping stickers all the way down the back straight and into turn number 3. Christoffel nearly loses the car out of turn 4. He gathers it back up in time for the white flag. Now dirt tracks into turn number 1. Kristen Ettling, meanwhile, trying to take third from Ron Eifert, but all eyes on this lead battle. They traded just about every color on those race cars fighting for the top spot. And after 2 straight feature victories, coming home with another heat race win, Zane Farrell in car 14, the points leader, over Jimmy Christoffel, Ron Eifert III, Kristen Ettling, and John Scott. A slow start out of turn 4, and there's the green flag. Denny Keller, the early race leader. Second place, Al Minjock and Steve Settle. And they settled that one in a hurry as the 3 now being challenged by McConnell in the 48. And Settle will now drop back to 4th position after a front row start. Red Monte Carlo number 3 was in victory lane in 2009, but not up to full speed here tonight. Second place battle. Oh, we got a big problem as Minjock crosses up the racetrack. He collects McConnell. Sheltman makes an avoidance move to the inside. No intentional contact there, as it was just a string of racing coincidences that nearly ended in disaster. Opening up a big lead at the front of this field, the 13 of Denny Keller from Denora. Keller got a feature win last season, and it was very early on in the year. He maintained a solid position in the points last season, and so far here in 2010, the race leader is 5th in the championship points chase. Now we got a battle for second. Ed Scheltman of Pittsburgh in car 20, and the 3 of Steve Settle from West Leisenring going door to door in turn 1. Halfway, 3 down, 3 to go. Battle for third heats up in a big way. McConnell in the 48, Settle in the 3, and McConnell grabs position. 2 laps to go this time. White flag is out for Denny Keller, the U.S. Auto Plus. Oldsmobile. No, that's Monte Carlo this year after he did run an Oldsmobile for several seasons. One of 3 racing Kellers that compete on a regular basis here at Motordrome Speedway. And headed for his second checkered flag of the season in heat race action, Denny Keller takes the win. Holding on to second, it will be the 20 of Ed Scheltman over Ed McConnell, Steve Settle, and Al Minjok. In car 9, young Dakota Stambaugh. In car 33, young Kyle Komarinsky. In car 19, it's Crystal Aller. And we're 3 wide in turn 1 already. Coca-Cola Super Compact action. This event absolutely loaded with rookies. In fact, not one of the drivers on the speedway has ever been to victory lane. Side by side, the race leader is Mike George. He's a rookie, but so is everybody else in the field, so that doesn't set him apart in any way. Dakota into the second spot in car 9, Komarinsky. They've had trouble finding the handle in that 33 car. Now Komarinsky way up high, trying to keep that beautiful machine off the wall, as he will. .33 of Komarinsky, his uncle, the NASCAR Super Late Model driver of the same last name. Komarinsky in third. Then the former Cody Quarrick number 9 car in second spot at the halfway point of this event. Dakota Stambaugh. The 18 of Rich Copen is falling back just a bit in this field. 22 of John Smizek in his second start is back in the 5th spot. Making sure that there will be no mosquitoes bothering us here at Motordrome Speedway tonight, the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. How about the improvement of Kyle Komarinsky, who spent his first 2 or 3 starts just cruising around the bottom of the speedway to gain experience. Now he's on the hammer and the fender is on the tire. White flag is waving. 2 separate cars in the top 5 showing tire smoke. Oh, the 18 has a serious engine problem. That's header smoke coming out of that one. Kyle Komarinsky just leaning that car over a little too hard for some tire smoke. And we're going to see a first career heat race win since nobody on the track had ever had one before. And that will be the rookie in car 25. Mike George takes the checkered flag. Over the 9 of Dakota Stambaugh, the 33 of Kyle Komarinsky, the 18 of Rich Copen, and the 22 of John Smizek. Mahalik in 38, Mary Catherine Shimko in 44, Jessica Knight in 76, and on the front row with Mahalik, it's Kevin the Caveman Keffer as the green flag waves. 62 of Grubbs won his heat race last week. 46 of Sean Rich celebrated with one of his best friends in victory lane last week. 62 of Grubbs now challenging Rich for third. Here comes Jessica Knight. Will we make it 3 wide in turn 3? Not quite. Early race leader, the 14, a Kevin Keffer, former Jennerstown Speedway competitor. We call him the Caveman. Got his Honda out in front of this field. Second place, it's a Cavalier on the inside, Dodge Daytona on the outside. As Mihalik falls back, the Dodge Neon of Jessica Knight, 76, moves to the outside. A couple of female drivers battling for third position there as Sean Rich's Grand Am is back to fourth. Mary Catherine Shimko, the double-duty driver, in fifth in car 44. She's a heat race winner this season. Keep in mind, we'll call the winning door prize numbers a little later on in tonight's racing action, and the only way to enter tonight's door prize drawing is to pick up a copy of the Motordrome Speedway souvenir program, available at the Motordrome gift shop with the lucky number stamped inside the front cover. Halfway home in heat race number 2. For the Coca-Cola Super Compacts, we will have a third heat race tonight for these drivers coming your way. Then we'll get into the feature racing action. Kevin Keffer, the Caveman, the leader in car 14 from Connellsville. 76, Jessica Knight, from a long history of racing family members. 62 of Grubbs in third spot. Knight's going to challenge for the heat race win now with Keffer out in front so far all 4 laps. Knight started deep in this field and looks to the inside of the leader. Keffer tries to pinch her down to the inside, and the Super Compact drivers going door to door in turn 3 for the heat race win. White flag will be displayed this time by. New race leader officially at the scoring line. It's Jessica Knight. Jessica Knight takes the lead, headed for a first heat race win in the Coca-Cola Super Compacts out of turn number 4. Joining members of the racing family like Tom Jr. and Todd, Jessica Knight takes a checkered flag over Caveman Keffer, Dale Grubbs Jr., June Mihalik, and Mary Catherine Shimko. And race fans, as you take a look at the scoreboard, as the top 5 are posted, 3 of the top 5 in heat race number 2 are female drivers. For the third, 31 is two-time winner Bill Schwartz, 47 last week's winner Mark Tringes Jr., and the 05 of Paul Koffler Jr. '04 out in front. Some discussion about the pronunciation of the last name, spelled Dutkowitz. And Andrew is out in front. I know the first name, we'll just call him Andrew. 23 is Eugene Zerfoss, battling with Ed Deneen in 16. Both of these drivers are feature-winning veterans. Deneen, a multi-time champion in the division. 31, young Bill Schwartz from McKeesport, the state's tire entry. He is 4th and has 2 wins in this division, the only repeat winner. Still side by side for second. It's a 3-car battle. Now the 05 of Koffler Jr. about to make it a 4-car battle for second. Race leader is checking out on this field. Here's what I know about Andrew. He's a Farmington dirt track regular who's now a pavement racer for about the 3rd time in his career here tonight. We know he drives car 04. We know his first name is Andrew. Last name is spelled Dutkowitz, but I'm told that they call him Dukavich. So we'll get a correct pronunciation on the race leader as the 16 of Ed Deneen, the division's all-time leading winner, moves around the outside of Hillbilly Zerfoss. Bill Schwartz, who got his first career win here on opening night, is the current points leader in car 31. He gets a tap from behind to the 05 of Koffler, but it's the 23 of Zerfoss and the 16 of Deneen. The 2 drivers longest in the tooth in this division going at it for second as the white flag waves for Andrew Dutkowitz. Final time around in heat race action tonight at Motordrome Speedway. Zerfoss may have claimed the 2nd spot down the back straight, but all eyes are on a first-time heat race winner. The dirt track convert, now a pavement racer and rookie in 2010, Andrew Dutkowitz takes the checkered flag. 2nd spot will go to Zerfoss in 23 over Ed Deneen. Bill Schwartz and Paul Koffler Jr. for the Napa Street Stocks. Aaron Minjock and Jason Holder lead them to turn number 4 in row 1. And the green flag is out. Napa Street Stocks are up to full speed on the front straight. Minjock in car 34, the recent feature winner, grabbing the lead from Stoystown's Jason Holder. We were briefly 3 wide there in the back of the pack, and Matt Sever gets a bumper tag from Andrew Kostelnik. Kostelnik, last week's winner, in 4th. Sever, the rookie, in 3rd. Be interesting to watch the double O of Scott Aiello. He did not come out for his heat race, which would normally indicate a problem, but he's already passed 4 race cars in the double zero. Closes in on defending champion Dink Colarusso, who is then closing in on Andrew Kostelnik. Close racing here in 2nd through 5th as the race leader Aaron Minjock checks out on this field on lap 2 of 25. Minjock, a dominant winner in the Charger division, leading the way now as a street stock driver with about 2.5 years experience. Jason Holder in 2nd. Holder, one of the biggest winners in street stock and Motordrome competition during his career, and he's getting a challenge from the rookie. Look at Matt Sever, the Martinelli's Auto 83, diving to the inside, and the teenager takes away 2nd position from the veteran. Working lap number 4, and Matt Sever, after a brilliant heat race performance tonight, looks like a driver of many years experience here. Into 2nd spot goes Sever. Into 3rd now around Holder is Dink Colarusso, who struggled all year before that heat race win earlier tonight. And up from the back of the pack, the double zero of Scott Aiello has passed last week's winner Andrew Kostelnik. He's closing in on the 74 of Holder. Kostelnik and the double O of Aiello, both AK chassis machines. Holder with the Bill Audi Racing machine, number 74, holding on to 4th behind Dink Colarusso's new ride. These drivers in 3rd through 6th position, and in front of them, an impressive performance by the recently graduated high school senior Matt Sever. Sever just kind of cruised around his first couple weeks. He had a spin out. This his first season in a rear-wheel drive car after dominating last year's super compact action. He is 2nd to Minjock right now, and we'll keep an eye on that lead interval as Minjock got his first career win earlier this season. Action heating up there out of turn 4 with the 0-0 of Scott Aiello. He's now to the inside of Holder on lap number 8. And he started just about last in this field after failing to start the heat race. White Oak, Pennsylvania's Scott Aiello, a winner and pretty nearly call him a rookie as he's only made about 9 starts in this division. He's closing in on the zero of Dink Colarusso for a 3rd position battle here on lap 9. Aiello, after that feature win, they reskinned the orange Monte Carlo to this black body. And they had some body panels cutting down tires for a week or 2 after that transition. Now he's the man on the move, looking to the inside of Colarusso. At the scoring line to begin working lap number 10, Colarusso holds on to the position officially by a bumper. Position changes happen only officially at the flag stand, so the scoreboard continues to reflect that until the next lap. And the pass is now completed. Aiello is up to 3rd. And here on lap 11, the lead battle intensifies. Matt Sever has cut down the interval of Aaron Minjock, and the teenage rookie is challenging for the lead. Minjock, who so many times went to victory lane in the Charger division, finally knocked the door down to victory lane this season, and by a bumper on lap 12, the new race leader is Matt Sever. The West Newton, Pennsylvania teenager trying to take the lead by now a full car length as Minjock battles back on the outside. Who will lead lap 13 as this duel rages on in turn 4? Again at the line, it's Sever by less than a car length to be shown as the leader on lap 13. Minjock uses the high side brilliantly until a miscue. Minjok drifts up to the outside wall, and Sever's lead increases by 3 or 4 car lengths now. Crossed flags this time, signaling halfway to Matt Sever, the race leader. The teenager looking for a first win at the front of this pack. As Minjok made the turn 2 miscue to let Sever grab the lead, that slowed him down enough to let Scott Aiello close in. How about this, race fans? In the top 3, a rookie up front, a driver with his first win this season in second, and a driver in his 9th start with a win in third. The veterans are getting blown away here in the Napa Street Stocks tonight as they put a lap on the 03 of Terry Schwartz from McKeesport, the rookie. Down the back straight, contact is being made in the battle for 4th between 2 close friends off the racetrack. Dink Colarusso in the 0 and the 57 of last week's winner, Kostelnik. They are trading paint in front of Dustin Blank. Those 2 drivers couldn't be better friends off the racetrack. Colarusso, in fact, last season drove that green and white machine to his track championship. Action happening all over the racetrack. Battle for 2nd now in turn 4 as Scott Aiello takes away the runner-up position. You don't know where to look, there's so much action going on right now. As Aiello moves into 2nd on lap 17, turn 1 is heavy traffic as they stack up behind Schwartz. That allows Colarusso to maintain the 5th position in the 0. Kostelnik in the 57 right there with the 94 of Blank. Now the action starts to settle down just a bit as Colarusso now showing tire smoke. The result of that contact in the battle may have put a fender on the left rear wheel of the 0 machine. We're working lap 18 now. Looks like Kostelnik is poised to go inside again. Top 3 are single file, so the best battle is here for 4th. Colarusso, the defending champion. Kostelnik, last Friday's winner in 57. Working lap 19 of 25. Colarusso gets a little loose that time. See if Kostelnik can use that to his advantage in turn 3 to get a run on the defending champ. Now with 5 laps to go. Kostelnik tucked right under the rear spoiler of Colarusso. Dustin Blank in there as well in 6th spot. As a result of the battle, you see the brakes glowing hot inside the 57 of Kostelnik's car. Those wheels are ablaze as he makes a move to the inside again. And just as it gets heated, we're going to have to turn our attention away because the lead battle headed into turn 1 is closing up. There are 3 laps to go, and all the way from the back of the pack, the 00 of Scott Aiello has chopped down the lead of Sever. Aiello looking for a 2nd career win in less than 10 starts in the division. Sever looking for a first win as a rookie, and there are 2 to go. Less than a full car length separating the leaders now on lap 23. Matt Sever of West Newton in car 83, the former Jonathan Heilman ride. And the HB Motorsports 00 of Scott Aiello from White Oak. This could be an action-packed last lap. Sever gets the car sideways in turn 4. Still hangs on to the lead as the white flag is waving. A pair of black Napa Street Stocks, inches apart to settle it on the final lap. Minjok in 3rd by himself. Now, will Aiello make a low side challenge in the final 2 corners, or will it be a first-time win? Sever gets the car loose. They're both sliding to the checkered. Matt Sever with a career first win as a rookie over Scott Aiello. Aaron Minjok, and the battle for 4th heads to the checkered flag. Dink Colarusso by a fender over Andrew Kostelnik. Well, Matt Sever, you got out of the car and you said, wow. Before we talk about this race, let's talk about your career. Did you expect to jump 2 notches on the NASCAR ladder so early in your career after being a champion rookie in the 4 cylinders?
No way, man. This is a dream. You know, we bought this car off of John, and this thing was, this was hooked from the beginning, man. This is the most unbelievable thing I've ever done. I mean, I know last year was quite a year for us, but this is just unbelievable.
Well, unbelievable is coming off turn 4 sideways with a veteran on your rear bumper to take the checkered flag. You know, those folks are cheering for you, but they're cheering for a heck of a race too. Tell us about those last 4 or 5 laps from your eyes.
Man, the car was great for majority of the race, and at the end, I think I used up some right side tires on it. It kept getting looser and looser up off, and I saw Scott coming, and I gotta give him credit. He drove me clean. He did a heck of a job too, and you know, it just got looser and looser, but whew, it just kept the hammer down, I guess.
Now, how about a chance to thank all the sponsors and crew for this first trip to Victory Lane and the Napa Street Stocks?
Man, I got to thank all these guys. I've had so much help from these people getting this thing back. You know, it's a new car. We turned it over and had it painted and ready to go in about a month. I got to thank EESI, Cato, and all them guys. Lux Brothers. I mean, these people, all these guys on this car have put so much into it every year. And Mr. Martinelli, man, these guys, I mean, whew, wow. I don't even know what to say right now.
After a thrilling finish for his first time in Victory Lane with the Napa Street Stocks, defending Super Compact champion, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Sever. The flying fireman, Billy Rebar, 60, Monroeville's Pat Hanley, and 71, Troy Knight. Green flag is out for the Wyotech Modifieds. Gary Scott in car 16, the early race leader. And then uncle and nephew side by side, the 97 of George Nicola, 34 of Rich Nicola. We got a spin. Adam Kostelnik goes around right in front of the 04 of Bobby Shipp. Double zero, 6-time champion Adam Kostelnik from East McKeesport. He goes around in his new HB Motorsports ride, and he nearly collects, or at least holds up, the 04 of Bobby Shipp, the winner here 2 weeks ago. George Nicola, 97, Chris Brink in 3. Green flag is out, 25 laps for the Wyotech Modifieds. Trying to get lap number 1 in the record books after that caution flag incident. 2 veterans up front, Scott and Nicola. Oh, Pat Hanley is off the pace briefly in the 60 car as he skirted up the banking. The rookie gathers it back in. Green flag stays out. Rich Nicola got into the outside wall, then spins on the front straight. He collects Billy Rebar. The 04 of Shipp spins, collecting Kostelnik. Pat Hanley and Troy Knight spin to avoid contact. Rich Nicola came down the front straight with white walled tires, indicating he had pounded the concrete at some point on lap number 1. And then, no surprise, that car might not turn just right into turn number 1. And you see what I mean on the right side of that car. Those wheels were pancaked before this incident. So Nicola made some kind of wall contact, perhaps on the front straight, and then spun, collecting Kostelnik, Shipp, Rebar. Gary Scott in 16, George Nicola in 97, and Chris Brink in the 3. Adam Kostelnik in the 00 not able to restart this event. So Gary Scott the leader over George Nicola. Chris Brink, last Friday's winner, the Glenn Campbell Gambler in 3. Then the 40 of young Brian Shipp. Now working lap 2 after last Friday's disastrous caution-filled modified event. Brian Shipp in the 40 is closing in on the 3 of Brink for the 3rd position battle. Lonnie Hoffman is right there as well in 5th in car 96. The drivers at the front of this field, Gary Scott in 16 and George Nicola in 97, have something in common. They are both among the leading winners in the history of the modified division here, and both were winless in 2009. Gary Scott finally ended that drought about 3 weeks ago when he pulled the 16 car into the winner's circle. Now here on lap 4, George Nicola, making only his 2nd start of the season, is trying to fend off last week's winner, Chris Brink. Now a challenge, Lonnie Hoffman, the hometown hero, looking to the outside of Brian Shipp in car 40. Shipp got his career first modified win here last season as a graduate of the Charger division. Hoffman, multi-feature wins last season and one in 2010. He's a street stock graduate. George Nicola still hanging on to second behind Gary Scott. Then Chris Brink in the 3, Brian Shipp in the 40, Bobby Shipp back from 2 caution flag incidents here early on to challenge to the inside of Hoffman. The 04 of Shipp looking stout in spite of some body damage on all 4 corners of that machine here on lap number 6 of 25. They are wheel to wheel in the battle for 5th position. Hoffman won his heat race tonight, but Shipp will win the battle to the stripe on lap 7 for the 5th position, taking that away officially from Hoffman, but they're still wheel to wheel down the back straight. Both of these drivers have been in victory lane 2009 and 2010. Both of these drivers started racing in the lower ranks at the Motordrome Speedway and advanced up the ladder. Now we got side-by-side action in front of them with Chris Brink and Brian Shipp. The Shipp brothers occupying the low lane of the Speedway. Chris Brink moving to his signature high side to challenge George Nicola. Wheel to wheel for second. That allows Scott to open up a bigger lead, and we were briefly 3 wide there in turn 4. Now the new second place driver is the Glenn Campbell Gambler Chris Brink. Battle for third is Nicola, Shipp, and Hoffman. 4 cars all racing under a blanket for third spot as Brink has quickly broken away from this tussle. Brian Shipp on the high side in car 40, George Nicola on the inside. Brian Shipp goes into third, Lonnie Hoffman now looking to challenge Nicola. Close racing action there in the middle of the pack, but up front the lead of Gary Scott is in jeopardy after he has had his way throughout this event. Gary Scott started from row 1 as a feature winner a couple weeks back. Last Friday, it was the 3 of Chris Brink in victory lane. And now Brink has chopped down Scott's comfortable interval in a hurry, working lap 11 of 25. Now moving back to the 5th position, wheel to wheel, it's George Nicola and Bobby Shipp headed into turn number 1. Those 2 drivers have battled at the front of modified fields for a long time here at Motordrome. Now as they go single file, we'll turn our attention to the lead in turn 4. Brink tucked right up to the rear bumper of Scott that time through turn 3. And Brink, who always prefers the high side of Motordrome Speedway, looks exactly there. Scott slams the door on him down the back straight. The Peanuts Eustace J. Yard chassis of Gary Scott in car 16. And the former limited late model ace at Jennerstown Speedway, Chris Brink, the American Standard number 3, looking to the inside on lap 14. While these 2 veterans are battling for the top spot, Brian Shipp in third is gaining on them as he has broken away from the rest of the pack. Shipp closes in now to within 3 car lengths of Brink. Brink is all over the rear bumper of Scott's car. Chris Brink on lap 15 may be faster than the leader, just needs to find a way around. Trying to make it 2 straight wins in the division. Chris Brink and Gary Scott make contact on the back straight. Into turn 3, the running order remains unchanged, but now Brian Shipp gets even closer. More contact made on the front straight. Gary Scott with an amazing save to keep that car off the outside wall. Brink now goes to the high side. He immediately avoids retaliation by putting 3 car lengths between himself and Scott. Scary to see contact in the open wheel modifieds. Now Brian Shipp looks to the inside of Gary Scott's number 16. Brink in his right side wheels showing the effects of contact there, but stretching out his lead. It's now Lonnie Hoffman in 96, Brian Shipp in 40, battling for third, just a car length or 2. Behind the driver who led 15 laps of this affair, Gary Scott. Challenge for second, Brian Shipp nearly dove into the inside of Gary Scott's left rear quarter. But the Swiss Vale Music, the Clark-sponsored ride of Scott, holding on to second by a bumper with Brian Shipp to his inside. Brian Shipp now takes over second position with 5 laps to go, and although he immediately put some car lengths between himself and Scott, he has got a long distance to make up if he's going to reel in Chris Brink in car 3. Lonnie Hoffman now trying to challenge Gary Scott. Scott led much of this race, but it appears that machine is slowing down, although his skills are able to keep these drivers from blowing right by him. Nonetheless, he is losing ticks on the clock and continues to fall back here with 3 laps to go. No driver has won more than once so far this season in the YO Tech Modifieds, but up front, Chris Brink with a huge lead in this event. Sees the signal of 2 laps to go, and the Glenn Campbell Gambler may be the first driver to repeat in 2010. Brian Shipp all by himself in second position. Then a battle between Scott Hoffman and now Bobby Shipp as the white flag waves. The driver from Glen Campbell, Pennsylvania, who went to victory lane last week, really as an unhappy camper because of the way that feature was contested. And tonight he has earned it from starting in the back of the pack and wrestling the lead away from a veteran. In car number 3, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Brink takes the second win of 2010 over Brian Shipp, Gary Scott, Lonnie Hoffman, and Bobby Shipp. Well, Chris Brink, when we talked to you last Friday night, you weren't a very happy winner because that was kind of a messy feature and things just didn't go right. This one was exciting for the fans, a thrilling battle for the lead. How's it feel this time to be in victory lane?
Well, this is history for me. I've never won 2 features in a row. But first of all praise and glory to Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I got into Gary. I roughed Gary up kind of to get around him, but, you know, I have to have a lane, so that's what I had to do.
And that looked like a fun one. Now, you got a little bit of damage on this car, but last week's feature, that had to be a marathon for you. Now you get into this one, there's 1 or 2 caution flags. Tell us what it feels like being in a modified versus being in a limited late model, because I tell the fans each week, you made that switch from full-bodied cars. What was that transition like? Because it took you a little while to get to victory lane.
3 years. Toughest cars there is to drive. These guys out here, even the guys running in the back, deserve a round of applause because these things are a bear to hang on to.
And this thing has a lot of sponsors on it. We don't want to let you go out of victory lane before you have a chance to thank them all.
Once again, Falcarelli Supply from Altoona, American Standard Heating and Cooling. If you need an air conditioner, heat pump, furnace, American Standard. Bradford White Water Heaters, Mahoning Outdoor Furnaces, and that's it.
There he is, second week in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Brink. Year, as is the 75 of Barry Oddie and the 1 of Steve Black looking for a career first. Green flag is out. NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. Full speed into turn number 1. Nathan Russell in car 26 has led feature laps before. A high school football standout last year as a senior at Kerwinsville High School, now in his 3rd year of NASCAR Super Late Model racing. He holds a 3-car length advantage over Will Trout on lap number 1. Will Trout in second, Barry Oddie in third, then side by side. The 17 of Chris Bailey Jr. and the 1 of Steve Black. Bailey throws it in hard to turn 4. They're door to door as they reach the front straight. Black, by a fender, scored in 4th position here on lap number 2. Chris Bailey Jr. maintaining his position to the inside of Steve Black. Black having a fantastic season in 2010. They're still glued together door to door. Mark Poole, the Subway Challenge driver of the night, right behind them. Mark Catone, the track champion, looking to his inside. While all of this heated action goes on, Nathan Russell is just barely holding off Gary Wiltrout for the lead. Action happening everywhere. Russell in turn 1, with Wiltrout and Barry Oddie bearing down on him. 2 veteran campaigners surrounding the young leader. Wiltrout to the inside and has position, will take the lead now on the front straight. On lap 5 of 25, new race leader is former track champion Gary Wiltrout. Russell hangs tough with the veterans, but now Barry Audi slides into the second position. Audi not yet able to complete that pass as Russell very strong. 3 cars racing under a blanket for the lead here on lap 6 of 25. Wiltrout gets that car sideways just a little in turn 2. That allows Barry Audi to move to the inside for the lead. Wiltrout with a slight miscue, and Audi diving to the inside. Side by side, veteran drivers at the scoring line on lap 7. Both drivers with multiple track championships. Both drivers champions of the Jennerstown Speedway. Wiltrout a Motordrome champion. Audi a Clearfield champion. Both drivers feature winners in 2009, and Barry Audi becomes the new leader. Working lap 8. The veteran from Jenners, Pennsylvania out in front. Now Mark Catone swings to the inside of young Nathan Russell. Last week's second place finisher, the defending champion Catone, now in 3rd spot. Battle for 5th is a heated one between Mark Poole, the Subway Challenge driver, and the 17 of Bailey Jr. Last week, Poole unable to finish the event after being put a lap down early. He was the winner just 2 weeks ago and now feels the pressure from the 11 of Bobby Henry. Meanwhile, second place changing hands. Mark Catone is on the move. He grabs the position from Gary Wiltrout as we're working lap 10. Drivers dropping the hammer early in this one as 25 laps the distance, with a second 25 lapper coming up later tonight. Race leader is Barry Audi, now in second, 3-time Motordrome champ Mark Catone. Just like the race leader, Catone has also been a Jennerstown Speedway champion. Wiltrout falling back from this battle, he's all by himself in 3rd. Battle for 4th is the 2 youngest drivers in the field going side by side in turn 3. Early race leader Nathan Russell and Chris Bailey Jr. is now advancing as he puts the front row starter back into the field. Oh, we got contact. Mark Poole crossed lanes, caught a piece of the Nathan Russell car. Fantastic driving by all parties involved as Bobby Henry now grabs the spot, and the lead battle goes side by side. Into turn number 1, Mark Catone on the low side. The current points leader, Barry Audi on the outside. Audi in 75. The Stoystown Auto Wreckers, Wheeler Brothers Chevrolet, falling back to second as the new race leader. On lap 14 is Mark Catone. We got a caution flag. It is the 37 of Paul Urso, stopped after a spin in turn 4. Paul Urso, who got a feature victory here in 2008 in the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series. Urso, the former Rookie of the Year in this division. In car 37 from Glenshaw, brings out the first caution flag here on lap 14. And Chris Bailey Jr., green flag is back out on lap 14. On the restart, in spite of the double file. Oh, we got contact. Neil Brown spins off the front bumper of Nathan Russell, and Mark Poole gets into him just a bit. Last Friday's winner, bringing out the caution. Catone, Barry Audi, Gary Wiltrout, Chris Bailey Jr., Bobby Henry, the top 5. 14 laps completed. Green flag is back out in this first 25 lapper. Nathan Russell sits 6th. Oh, we got a big problem up front. Barry Audi collects the Palagrudo machines and Nathan Russell and Tommy Beck. Steve Black is stopped. The 8 of Dan Lewis, the 83 of Joe Moose, the 7 of Matt Gardner, all involved. Top-notch race cars. Barry Audi in 75. The first car to go around. Mark Poole has some damage here on the front straight as well. Tough break. There's a lot of pit crews that are going to be thrashing on these race cars to get them ready for our second 25 lap feature. Green flag back out, 11 laps to go in the first 25 lapper. Bailey trying to hang tough among a collection of winning veterans. Tommy Beck moves to the inside to challenge Bailey, the ARCA Truck Series racer. Side by side, they go for the runner-up position. Chris Bailey Jr. and Tommy Beck. Paul Urso got off course there just a bit, but the green flag stays out. And Beck has now cleared Bailey, not quite yet in turn 4. Catone builds up a lead of about 6 car lengths as they battle for second. And now it is the Stans Transmissions. Monarch Oil number 60 of Tommy Beck into the runner-up spot. And it's Bailey, Miller, and Steve Black who continues to turn in top 5 performances in 2010. Working lap 17 of 25. Neil Brown has now made some moves through this pack. He is up to 6th, 1 position behind Brown. He won the feature last Friday, then involved in an incident over in turns 3 and 4 here tonight. It's lap 18, and Matt Gardner and Barry Audi are side by side. That is for the 7th position. Audi breaks away from the rookie, and now Paul Urso pulls up to challenge Gardner. There's Gary Wiltrout trying to climb up from that caution flag incident. Mark Poole is there, the winner 2 weeks ago. Heated action here on lap 19, but up front, Tommy Beck is slowly chopping down the lead of Mark Catone. This heated action coming down the front straight, the best battle on the speedway between Gardner and Urso. Gardner a rookie this year, Urso the former rookie of the year in the Subway Super Late Models. As we see Mark Poole making a pass of Gary Wiltrout down the back straight. Just 4 laps to go now, that heavy traffic stacks up. Leaders coming onto the front straightaway. Begin working lap 22. We got a spin. Paul Urso goes around. Hard contact made by Dan Lewis. And Gary Wiltrout, who may have touched the wall trying to avoid. That was a significant impact as Urso started to go sideways and Lewis plowed him. The Monongahela, Pennsylvania driver in car 8. And the 37 of Urso. Wiltrout backing away from the incident. Track officials over there. Lewis, I believe, has the window net down indicating he is okay. Bailey and Miller bring them back to full speed on the front straight. Oh, the leaders get together. Tommy Beck with a tremendous save after they locked doors side by side. Incredible action on the restart. Catone now with a 6 or 7 car length advantage. The entire field reacted brilliantly to that one. Now Neil Brown's the man on the move. Brown takes away the 5th position from Steve Black and is quickly reeling in Rick Miller in 4th. Brown, last week's winner, in a caution flag incident earlier tonight. Boy, Tommy Beck made a great save, but now with the white flag waving, he will not be able to mount a challenge on the race leader. The 3-time Motordrome track champion, about to become the 2nd repeat winner of 2010. In turn 4, McKeesport, Pennsylvania's Mark Catone takes the checkered flag over Tommy Beck, Chris Bailey, Rick Miller, and Neil Brown. Well, Mark Catone, last week looked like it could have been your week. Let's talk about that one for a minute, because last week was one heck of a hard-fought battle to a 2nd place finish, but you maintained the points lead.
Yeah, I tell you what, all the races out here are tough. Any given night, anybody can win. You got to have good luck. In order to finish first you got to finish. Got to thank the crew, Auto Express, Transportation, Baker Race Cars, MC Quality Cars, K-Site Automotive Products, all the fans, Subway, the Lasky family, Mom, Dad, everybody involved in our program. You know, it takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of support, and got to thank the fans for coming out and really appreciate it. And tell you what, it was a little slippery out here tonight, and got a little slippery on that last restart there. I don't know if I didn't have the tires cleaned off enough or what, and I went and it just broke loose, and it was like, hang on.
Drivers have been talking about this new tire, and it's kind of up in the air. Is it tougher to drive because it's tougher to pass, or is it easier to drive because the cars aren't typically as loose? Where do you stand on the new tire?
Everything's still up in the air. I mean, we've been having success with it, and we're pretty lucky and fortunate that the car's working good, and we've been monitoring it really well. but it's pretty slippery out here, and hopefully it'll get better. I think as we get more rubber on the track, it'll get better for everybody.
Well, there he is, better tonight for the second time in 2010, McKeesport's Mark Catone. Number 51. Next kid's ticket number 084305. You'll present the winner to the Charger feature. 08435 on the kid's ticket. You will be our next trophy presenter, as we are 3 wide, maybe 4 wide in the middle of the back straight. That was a hairy situation, but the green flag stays out. Ed McConnell is the early race leader looking for a career first win. Ed Sheltman in car 20 going side by side with Kristen Ettling in the 8. Ettling was the points leader until a disastrous crash in her heat race last week sidelined her after 2 consecutive feature victories, the first 2 of her career. Now there's some contact between the 13 of Denny Keller and the 20 of Ed Sheltman. Here comes last week's winner, Zane Farrell, nearly gets pitched to the outside wall by Sheltman. The prom king, Zane Farrell in car 14. 2-time winner. He will now take the position away from Sheltman, headed into turn number 1, and the lead battle heats up now. Ron Eifert III in car 61 is second. He's been a winner in the Super Compact division, then moved up to the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers, where he won a feature last season. Now he's closing in on veteran Ed McConnell, and another veteran, Jimmy Christoffel, is right on his heels. Christoffel takes to the high side of Eifert now, and that battle allows McConnell to break out to his biggest lead of the race. Christoffel now trying to challenge on the outside. A 3-car battle behind them. Farrell and Ettling now the 2 repeat winners in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. They go door to door, but Farrell quickly makes that pass. The Ettling number 8 car, perhaps not as fast this week after that terrible crash last week. 04 of Christoffel feels the pressure of Keller now. Keller to the inside. Keep in mind, Christoffel and Farrell had some words exchanged in their heat race, and now they are racing very close in this feature event. Christoffel in 04 on the outside of the 13 of Denny Keller as Ed McConnell continues to lead. Now Zane Farrell just about completing the pass with Keller to put Christoffel back in the 6th position. Working lap number 6, Ed McConnell, the DeWitt Enterprises 48. Under the tutoring of veteran Dustin Blank, the Napa Street Stock driver, McConnell looking for a first win in this division. Denny Keller, heat race winner tonight, showing strength on the outside, moving around Ron Eifert III in his 61 car. Halfway, crossed flags, 7 down. 7 to go, and there's contact. Keller, Farrell, and Eifert, I think all 3 of them touched lightly. Keller gathered it back up. We could be going 3 wide here in turn 3. Farrell on the inside. The 2 youngest drivers in the field, door to door for second, and Farrell takes the spot away. Denny Keller makes contact with the outside wall on the front straight. Eifert is in 3rd. Then it's Christoffel and Ettling. That was an eventful lap. Nevertheless, McConnell continues to lead with Zane Farrell knocking on the door. Farrell, the high school senior, and McConnell, the Charger veteran. A pair of Monte Carlos at the front of this field. Farrell, who won multiple features as a rookie, shocked this veteran field last season. Farrell continues to work the outside lane, got a little bit loose there in turn 3, not completing the pass yet as McConnell started up front. And now by a fender on lap 11, Farrell becomes the official leader. Denny Keller has recovered to 3rd position behind this battle. Then Christoffel and Eifert are trading paint. Headed into turn 3, it's Farrell, McConnell, Keller, then side by side. Christoffel and the 61 of Eifert. Eifert started on the front row and surrenders that spot to Christoffel with Kristen Etling right there on lap 12. Christoffel was all over the back bumper of Eifert, so Eifert's going to get all over the back bumper of Christoffel. Just in front of these drivers, battle for second. Keller looking to the outside of McConnell. Christoffel dirt tracked the car a little bit that time. Now it's Eifert's turn to get sideways. Action happening all over this track, and we got a spin from second. Right off the front bumper of Denny Keller, the 48 of Ed McConnell. The early race leader goes around and makes contact with the inside retaining wall. McConnell pulls away from that incident. Looks like minimal damage to that machine. Farrell in car 14 looking for his third consecutive feature victory. Jimmy Christoffel is second. Ron Eifert the third is third. Christoffel's been in a couple of scrapes tonight. We're on lap 13 of 15. Now let's see if he can mount a challenge for Farrell, who's now dominating this division. Battle for third. Kristen Etling, who was mired back in the pack for much of this event, showing great patience in fighting for third here at the end of this event with Eifert. Looks like her car might be back up to full speed as the white flag is waving. Zane Farrell, the king of the prom, becoming the king of the Chargers. As points leader coming into tonight's action, this young driver, a go-kart racing graduate, is putting together a string of consecutive victories that out of turn 4 will increase to 3 in a row. Zane Farrell takes the win over Jimmy Christoffel, Ron Eifert III, Kristen Etling, and Ed Schelpman. Zane, a Subway gift certificate for you. Each week I tell the race fans about your age and about your fantastic rookie season, but let's go back. What were you doing before you appeared suddenly on the scene here at Motordrome Speedway last year in the Charger division?
I was racing go-karts in Acme, Pennsylvania I raced go-karts for 10 years, and I just kind of wanted to race a Charger instead, but having a lot more fun than I was.
Now, the driver that just pulled into victory lane, Mark Catone, he wins championships with smooth, consistent runs. You're knocking down feature wins on the way to a championship season and showing some pretty aggressive moves out there, particularly that heat race tonight. When you're in that car, are points on your mind or advancing your position?
No, I always like to say look ahead to get ahead, but it seems to pay off, though, so that's all. I can't really think of anything to say, but that's all I can think of, though.
There he is in victory lane again with a chance to thank your sponsors.
I'd like to thank Howie Bayless. He takes awesome photos. Funk's Plumbing, West Newton Bikes. I'm glad Smokey came here tonight to see me and Matt race, and he got to see 2 of his drivers win. Linda Brown's Floral, Chet Joseph's, and R&R Tree Service, and S&S Automotive.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, back in victory lane for a third week in a row, Zane Farrell. Third. Last week's winner, Mark Tringes Jr. in 47, Mary Catherine Shimko in 44, Paul Koffler Jr. in 05, Ed Deneen in 16, June Mihalik in 38, Eugene Zerfoss in 23, Bill Schwartz in 31, Kyle Komarinsky in 33. As the green flag waves, we're 4 wide briefly. Now we're 3 wide, and 2 wide, and here comes 4 wide. Unbelievable start of the race action here. Inches apart, 3 and 4 wide. Rookie is the race leader, Dale Grubbs. Cars are doing some agricultural racing off the pavement there in turns 1 and 2. Oh, we're 3 wide on the back straight. Oh, this doesn't look good. I don't like the way this is shaping up, and the drivers wisely reduce themselves to 2 wide. Let's go 3 wide again on the front straight, maybe 4. Koffler the third to the inside of Deneen and Keffer. Now we're 4 wide again with Tringes, last week's winner, making some bold moves. Action is happening much too fast for me to talk about it. So I'll just sit here and say, holy man, whoa, look at that. Three wide into turn 1 with Zerfoss, Koffler, and Dudkowitz, the heat race winner tonight. Dudkowitz nearly lost the handle there in the 04. Zerfoss and Koffler, the veterans, straightening that one out. We're about to work lap 4. Now the action has settled down to a level where we might be able to talk about it. 62 is Dale Grubbs Jr., the rookie. He got a heat race win here a week or two ago and is now out in front of this field. Christopher Knight in the 78 was a heat race winner tonight. And he's got Ed Deneen to his outside. Deneen, the division's all-time leading winner. They are side by side for second. And now Grubbs, the rookie, is about to feel the pressure of veteran competitors here on lap 5. Will we go 3 wide for the lead? Look at Knight setting up to do exactly that. Ed Deneen in the 16 takes the lead away from Grubbs, the rookie. And as we begin to work lap 6 of 15, it's Ed Deneen, Dale Grubbs, Chris Knight, and after starting deep in the field, the 47, last week's winner, Mark Tringes Jr., is right in the mix of the top 5 here already. The 22 machine. Oh, Grubbs, the early race leader, nearly loses the handle in lap traffic. Now Deneen is all by himself over Knight and Tringes on lap 7. John Smissick in car 22 was the lap machine there. Still learning the pronunciation of his name as a rookie. Now it's Tringes in 47. Moving up to the rear bumper of Knight. Dudkowitz in the 04 is close by, but Deneen is all by himself out front on lap 8. Look at this 3-car battle for second at the scoring line on lap 9. Tringes Jr., Knight, and Dudkowitz, who again dirt tracks the car through turn 2. All this is happening a solid half a straightaway. Solid half a straightaway behind the leader, Deneen. 5 laps to go. This is Ed Deneen's first start of 2010. And he's way out in front of all this action, which includes the routinely sideways Dudkowitz car and the 47 of Tringes, a young man that got his first win last Friday. Points leader Bill Schwartz is joining this battle, the States Tire and Wheel 31. Schwartz and Tringes, 2 of the youngest drivers in the field, about to slug it out for the 3rd position. Oh, we got a caution flag on the speedway. Debris on the racetrack. The reason for this caution flag is to go Ed Deneen in his first start of the season, leading this event. Then it's Knight and Dudkowitz, and they're going to duke it out for second right here on the back straight with 3 laps to go. Dudkowitz has only made about 4 starts in his life at Motordrome Speedway, and he takes that spot away from Christopher Knight. Dudkowitz won a heat race tonight in spite of me not knowing exactly how to pronounce his last name. Battle for 4th, Tringes and Schwartz. Both teenagers, both feature winners. Got a slow car here coming up in turns 3 and 4. Crystal Aller may play into a couple of these battles behind her, and she gets that car way down to the inside. So the racing action will pass by. 2 laps to go, and Deneen seems to be out of reach of any of these fast-moving drivers who started in the middle and back of the pack. Dudkowitz takes over second. Now it's Tringes and Schwartz, who have been side by side for several laps, seeing the white flag behind race leader Ed Deneen. Action still continues for those top 5 positions in turn 1. But headed into turn 3, the multi-time champion, the leading winner in the history of 4-cylinder racing at Motordrome Speedway, Ed Deneen from Wilkinsburg takes the checkered flag in his first start over Andrew Dudkowitz, Christopher Knight, Mark Tringes, and Bill Schwartz. Was this your first start of the season?
Yes, first start.
And this car was back in the old days with the automatic transmissions. This was the dominant car. Then we brought in more power, and it's still dominant.
Well, I spent some time over the last couple of weeks trying to get it fixed, so we got it straightened out here. Yeah, I figure sooner or later we keep working on it, we'll get it right. So
We got a storm coming in. A quick chance to thank your sponsors.
I want to thank Swissfeld Pro Sound, Lamar Kitchens. I want to thank Ed's Auto Service, obviously, and Antique Auto Appraisals.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the former champion back in victory lane, Ed Deneen. Second 25-lap affair for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. Green flag is out. Still side by side with multi-car contact at the front of this field. Everybody was playing bumper tag on the back straight on lap 1. Oh, Will Trout slows up in front of the field. Hard impact to the outside wall, collecting Barry Audi, Neil Brown, and several other machines. A terrible first lap. Gary Wiltrout and Barry Audi got locked together as it seemed Wiltrout slowed, collecting Neil Brown, collecting Matt Gardner, collecting Todd Price, collecting Dave Wiltsey. Brown pulls away from his second incident of the night, again with very little apparent damage on the 98. Todd Price with what seems like only a tire mark for a complete restart alongside of Neil Brown, the 2-time winner. Rick Miller in 3rd, Chris Bailey Jr. in 4th, Tommy Beck 5th, and Mark Catone 6th. The results of that serious invert now negated with so many cars taken out of the top 5, and Catone gets to take the green flag from 6th position as Neil Brown takes the early race lead in car 98. Steve Black all by himself in 2nd, then Rick Miller and Tommy Beck. Beck, a heat race winner tonight in car 60. Working lap 2 of 25, Beck moves to the inside of Rick Miller. Mark Catone is watching that battle and trying to choose a lane. He will pick the inside as Beck clears Miller in turn 3. And Catone looking to take that spot away on the front straight and by a bumper on lap 3. Mark Catone becomes the 4th place driver. The points leader on the move again, passing both Miller and the 17 of Bailey Jr. In front of these drivers, Beck, the 3rd place runner, it's Steve Black in 2nd in car 1. The Baker Race Cars Toyota, and out in front, Neil Brown. Brown, a 2-time winner, and Mark Catone, who just became a 2-time winner, the only repeat drivers in victory lane in 2010. And a challenge develops for 3rd as Brown outrunning Steve Black, and side by side Tommy Beck with Mark Catone to his outside. Catone, who made early moves in that first feature, not necessarily consistent with his usual style. Catone steps up the pace early in these brief 25-lap sprints and moves into 3rd. Lap 8, it's Neil Brown over Steve Black and Tommy Beck. Steve Black and Mark Catone, I should say, as Catone wrestled that spot away from Tommy Beck. And Catone is closing in quickly on Black. Mark Poole heads to the pits. The original front row starter is out of competition. And on lap 9, Catone has gained in a big way on Black. In just 2 or 3 laps, Catone took a huge interval and knocked it down to nothing as the former truck division champion, Steve Black, racing just in front of the defending champ. Now a lap car, Gary Wiltrout, could play into this battle as Catone has to slide in behind Black to avoid the limping Palagrudo entry. We are now on lap 10, and if Catone can make his way around Black, he could begin to carve into the lead built up by Neil Brown. Brown is about 1/4 ahead of this battle, with Catone looking to the inside. Steve Black having by far his best career season in the opening weeks of 2010, in spite of losing his longtime sponsor, Penn West Toyota Lift. Now Catone has an inside lane opportunity headed into turn 3. He takes that and quickly moves around. That was an impressive show of strength by Mark Catone in one corner to gobble up 3 car lengths and come out in second position on lap 13. Catone may need a caution flag even at his rapid pace to reel in Neil Brown. Can Catone make a sweep of 2 events on one night? It would seem unlikely without the aid of a caution. Black has approximately half a straightaway lead. Neil Brown, I should say, having that half a straightaway lead. Brown in the O'Shea Lumber R&M Trucking Davies 498. Tonight, he became tied with Mark Catone, each of them with a pair of victories, and now with 10 to go, Brown looking to remain on top at the end of the night by scoring his 3rd win of the season. Catone in second, then Steve Black and Tommy Beck. It looks like Brown's interval over Catone is shrinking. Black's interval over Beck is shrinking. Tommy Beck closing in on Steve Black. Every driver in the top 5 with a last name that begins with B, it would seem. But Catone is not going to have enough time to close in on the leader without something going amiss on the racetrack like a caution flag. Neil Brown, the race leader, now about 10 or 15 car lengths in front of Catone, and as that interval shrinks, he approaches the Joe Moose 83 in turn 1 on lap 18. That will slow down Brown just a little bit as Catone continues to gain. Catone has cut that lead in half, and we've got a caution right in front of the leaders. Neil Brown is on the binders to avoid the spun Dave Wiltsey 28, and this is exactly what Mark Catone was looking for. Side by side, green flag on lap 18, Catone and Brown. They chased one another to the checkered flag a week ago. Now Tommy Beck makes a fantastic save as he doesn't quite come up to speed on the start. That allows Chris Bailey to slip into 3rd, but look at the lead battle. Catone on the outside. Not enough to mount a challenge this time as Tommy Beck heads pit side in the 60. It's Bailey Jr. in 3rd, Barriotti in 4th, and the lead duo, the only 2 repeat winners of the season up front. Brown returns to a lead of about 5 or 6 car lengths, just like he had before the caution period. Catone told us in victory lane that his car was handling very loose, and without the heat in the tires, that restart may have been a negative for Catone instead of a positive. Four laps to go, and Brown is increasing his lead after Catone was reeling him in under the last stint of green flag competition. 3rd place Bailey with a couple of car lengths between himself and veteran Barry Audi. Top 4 strung out with 3 laps to go. having things all his way and returning to the comfort margin he had before the side-by-side restart. Maybe Brown wasn't showing all that car had earlier in this feature event as he takes the white flag. Catone, the points leader, second. Chris Bailey with an excellent drive for the second race in a row tonight. But coming out of turn 4, we have our first 3-time winner of 2010. It's Neil Brown of Acme, PA, over Mark Catone, Chris Bailey Jr., Barry Audi, and Rick Miller. Question after watching that late race restart, were you showing everything you had in this car in feature number 1 and early in feature number 2?
Yeah, we was. I don't know, we're struggling a little bit this year. We changed a couple springs before that second feature, and it helped at some. It's still not right, but I want to thank my crew chief, Jim Alborn, for doing a great job in my car. Want to thank the fans for coming out. Appreciate all your support. And like to thank Mark Catone. He's a good, clean racer, and I enjoy racing with him. And congratulations on him. He had a nice run tonight.
And so we conclude another round of the Mark and Neil show, each one getting a win 3 times now for Neil Brown.